Okay, Bismillah, Assalamu'alaikum, Warahmatullahi, Wabarakatuh. Okay, yes, so in this occasion, or in this day, before we start this podcast, we will talk about RPL versus TKJ. But before that, we will have to grateful for Allah Subhanahu wa Taala because we can meet in this position. I mean that in this podcast, and then this is the first time, not the first time, but the second time I will do podcast in this semester. So podcast for this semester, I have already done two podcasts, and then before that I'm to be the speaker, and I'm with my friend. The name is Rasa. We will talk about what the bachelor one when we graduate from this school is scholarship or work. So we talk about that, and then it's so fun. I'm so feel it's good because we will talk about our future that will after we graduated here, and then we will talk about this. Okay, maybe we will start this, but before that we have a special guest. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
So this is the best speaker, or maybe this is my friend that we will to be a speaker because he always talk many times about this lesson about RPL or TKJ that is better one. Because we still in 9th grade, so we have to know that what our purpose after this graduate. Okay, right? No?
Yes.
Okay, maybe before that we can what the name?
We can
Introduce yourself first.
Okay, so my name. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Introducing, my name is Muhammad Kaisal Andro Meda Perlawan Harahap. Most people call me Andro, and here I will be the speaker for our podcast with the theme RPL or TKJ. Okay.
Okay, Mr. Sal?
Yes.
Okay, so we will talk about RPL versus TKJ. You know that RPL is the good one of the fashion that we can say there is, like,
Yes.
and then there is TKJ that we can know. But before that, I want to know what means of the RPL.
RPL means like a software engineer. In Indonesian, RPL is called as Rekayasa Perangkat Lunak. So, most of RPL is run in the way of programming and coding, such as website builder and app engineer and so many. For example, they want to code some hardware, so like a robot. They like code in that robot using a hardware, so they need to learn about this one, RPL.
So RPL there are many type, right?
Yes,
there can be robot, can be website, and then application,
game, and so many.
So what the fashion that you like it from both of them?
From both of them, I rather choose a website because
Why?
nowadays a website is very needed in the world, because by using a website we can know so many things. For example, do you know there's a website called Tulify.ai?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, that is a website that can help us to know more about another AI that have shared in this in the internet. So, yeah, how can we make that website if we don't know how to make a website? So that's why most of people from this major choose to be a website builder or a website engineer because it's one of a job that most of company or enterprise needed.
So, what the interesting thing that you want to make a website? Because you said that website is important, right, for
Yes.
this, for you, right? Because we are in the digital era, right?
Yes.
But there are so many that programming is like making application and then robotic. So why you prefer choose a website? Why you not choose both of them, that robotic and application?
Because a website is very flexible.
Why?
You know,
Why?
a website has become two. A static website and dynamic website. A static website is just a website that we make once, and after that, no more updates, and it's just stay. For example, it is like portfolio. Maybe sometimes we need to update for our portfolio like our experiences, but it's seldom to update it because portfolio is only a website for us to show what is our skill to the enterprise or company. But if the second type is a website, a dynamic website, we can make so many things. For example, you know about ChatGPT, right? It is one of the type of dynamic website because, as we know, ChatGPT get his information by another website that has been shared in the internet. So ChatGPT need the programmer, the one that program it to put an information into its database, so it can answer so many questions about anything around the world. So because of that, website is something that more flexible than application, and website is easier to make than the application. We just need to make the UI, the design, and the back end or the function of that website. And
So what means of back end? I don't know.
the back end is
Because I just heard that there is programming, right? Programming that program the application or program the website or program the robotic.
Yes.
Because, but I'm not really learned about this RPL, this one of the rule of this. So I want to know what it means of back end, what it means of a front end, what it means of anything else about it.
okay. So in website, it is divided become three. It is front end, back end, and full stack. First, we talk about front end. Front end is the one that create the user interface or the design, the first view of the website. All of the view they are the one that create it. For example, the view of homepage, the view of talk page, the view of contact page. They make it. But for back end, they are the one that create the function of that website. For example, you have a button and you want this button. If you click this button, you can go to the next page. So you can code it in back end because back end is something like is anything that we cannot see from that website. So if front end is anything that we can see in the website, such as a text, image, and a design. For back end is a function, only a function.
Only a function for?
Yes, only a function, and maybe for creating database. For have a database or maybe a memory for that website, so they can collect an information and keep it in their database.
Okay, and then so what means that so I want to ask you what the role that you will choose, RPL,
The role.
for next.
It is actually for me is better. I can do a back end because some of my weakness is I cannot designing. So I can make a design, but I can't designing. Do you know how is the difference?
What the difference?
I can make a design, but I cannot designing.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah.
So you're not really interested with the design.
Yeah, so that's why I just need to have. If I want to make a front end, I need to have the UI UX first. The UI UX of the website, so I can copy it, and then after that I can make it. But if I want to make it alone, so I rather choose back end because back end for me is something that easier.
So if I want to know like that, so people, is that hard to learn about programming? Because I see so like it's like rare that I see because the text from the means like linear, fields or P, H1 like.
Yes. Okay, so for me it is exactly not really hard because for some reason I have learned some programming language before I learned about Kotlin before. Such as HTML and Python. And both of them are, and Python, it is using a logic, so the key of coding not only you can type a code and you have memorized all of the code, but you need to have your logic. For example, you have already memorized so many code, but you don't know how to create it, how to create a good function for that website. So
Okay, but for your reason is you already learned many times before you go to here work.
yeah,
Yes.
you can do it.
So how
So,
people that is not really have a background that he have ever learned about this programming. So what the tips for that one?
what's the tips? Okay, the tips from me is nothing is late.
Nothing is late.
Nothing is
Okay.
late. So you can start whenever you want. For in the internet, there is so many courses that you can use for you can learn about this major for learning about programming. For like me, I'm exactly not learn about programming with my teacher. I learned programming for like HTML and Python is in the course. For example, I learned in Skillful or maybe Coursera or Solo Learn or so many.
Are you make sure it's a good one for the?
For the best one is depend on yourself. You are rather to choose a video. If you are rather to choose a video, you can learn from a channel YouTube called Kelas Terbuka. If you rather to choose a text, I recommend you to use Coursera or Solo Learn or Skillful maybe.
Oh,
But
okay.
if you can do both of them, maybe you can just what you can just watch in YouTube, and after that you can ask to the community.
Ask
If you
to the
have-
community.
Yes, because nowadays there is so many community that talking about this one.
Okay, so we already know about RPL. So,
Yes.
so what the recommendation? What the tips for RPL student for you? For me?
Okay. Never give up. Bug is not the end, but the end is when you are failed.
Okay.
When you are failed, and when you are failed is not because of you cannot fix your bug, but it's because of your surrender.
Okay, so we will move to the TKJ. So I want to know, Andro. Most of IDN is interested now because of the RPL. From my opinion, because of the TKJ, because I look that many appreciation is from TKJ. But I'm not really destroy your
Spirit.
spirit to prefer choose or RPL. No, but I just want to know that from your opinion. So I want to know what means of TKJ.
TKJ is a network engineer in bahasa. It is called as teknik komputer jaringan. So, as the name, this major is talking about network. So we can set about a networking. For example, we can set this network until what the speed of this network, and we can create a new network. How can we make it? We can learn in TKJ.
Are you ever interested with this TKJ, this network engineer?
When the first time I learned in IDN, I first learned about IP address and TCP. On the time, I think this TKJ will be easier because we just learned about IP address, how to make IP, and learned about TCP. But as soon as the time, I feel like I will not join TKJ because for some reason I don't like to play with cable.
So you don't really like play with cable?
Yeah, because in TKJ we need to play with so many cable. For example, you can see in this picture. There's so many cable that plug into one server or one router that can connect one modem. I don't really like something like that because I rather to work on one thing, and that thing can fix all of my trouble. Not j- in but in TKJ, we need to work at the router, and we need to work at the modem, and we need to work at so many things.
That is so really interesting with your TKJ, right?
Yeah.
But maybe this is the last question that I want to ask you because we will end this podcast.
Okay.
So, why people are so like interested with TKJ? I just want to know your opinion. But I know that you rather choose RPL, but I want to just know.
First, TKJ is a rare knowledge because if you want to learn,
We can learn
TKJ,
from course.
Yeah, maybe you can learn about course, but can you make sure you have the router or the modem? So that's why every course, maybe they can tell you about the tutorial how to do a networking, but yeah, none of you can have the router, right? You need to buy the router from the company. For example, you want to learn about CCNA, then you need to buy the router of Cisco.
Okay. Okay, maybe we will end this podcast with the from last word from you for the student RPL and TKJ.
Last word from
From you.
you.
For RPL and TKJ. And
Okay. Recollect everyone, you are one of IT student, you are one of IT people in the world. Don't disappointed all of people that has been trust on you. Okay, that's all.
Okay, thank you very much, Andromeda, for we talk about RPL versus TKJ. So I hope for this podcast will be useful for you. And if you have if you have a question, you can write on the comment. And if you like this video, and subscribe for this channel. Okay, maybe that's all for me. Thank you very much for listening. I'm sorry if we have a mistake from the words or from the design it. sorry. But I will end this podcast with salam ya. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.